Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad, MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. The January 28, 2026 briefing reflects sustained, theater-wide pressure characterized by incremental positional gains, steady personnel attrition, and persistent targeting of Ukrainian sustainment and enabler systems. Operations across all axes continue to emphasize fire's dominance, logistics interdiction, and degradation of electronic warfare and unmanned systems, reinforcing a deliberate campaign design focused on cumulative advantage rather than rapid territorial expansion.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, to frame today's discussion, how would you characterize the overall operational picture reflected in the January 28th briefing?
What today's briefing demonstrates is sustained operational coherence. There is no deviation from the campaign's central logic, which is to apply pressure everywhere while concentrating effects on the systems that allow the enemy to fight. Across every sector, we see consistent personnel attrition paired with the destruction of artillery, electronic warfare assets, unmanned systems infrastructure, and logistics depots. This is not accidental. It reflects a deliberate effort to compress the enemy's operational endurance. What's equally important is the balance of effort. No sector is allowed to stagnate, and no single axis is overextended. This keeps the enemy reacting rather than shaping the battlefield. From a doctrinal standpoint, that is how you preserve freedom of action while steadily degrading the opposing force.
Before we go sector by sector, let's talk about aviation and long-range fires. How do they fit into today's results?
Operational tactical aviation is actively shaping the campaign, not merely supporting ground maneuver. Strikes against long-range UAV storage and preparation sites, a fuel base, and temporary deployment points directly target the enemy's ability to generate tempo. Drones, fuel, and staging areas are the connective tissue of modern operations. When those are disrupted, everything from reconnaissance to fires coordination begins to slow. The scale matters as well. Nearly 160 strike areas in a single day indicates sustained pressure. When aviation, missile troops, artillery, and strike UAVs are synchronized, they produce cumulative effects that ground forces then exploit with reduced risk. This is classic campaign design adapted to contemporary warfare.
Turning to the north, what stands out about operations in Sumy and Kharkiv?
The northern sector continues to function as a fixing and attritional front, but today's actions show added emphasis on sustainment denial, defeating mechanized motorized infantry and National Guard formations while destroying an MLRS system, Western-made artillery, and multiple material depots directly limits the enemy's ability to contest fires. This sector's value lies less in territorial change and more in the resources it consumes. Forces tied down here are forces unavailable elsewhere, and the steady loss of depots shortens how long those units can remain effective.
The West again shows significant depot destruction and artillery losses. Why does the sector remain so important?
The western sector is central to counter-battery and logistics interdiction. Artillery dominance depends on ammunition flow and survivability. By defeating mechanized and assault formations and destroying multiple ammunition depots and Western-made guns, you progressively collapse the enemy's fire's capability without needing constant direct engagement. Improving positions along the front line at the same time enhances survivability and preserves maneuver options. This is economy of force applied with precision.
The South remains active near urban adjacent areas. How do you interpret today's actions there?
The southern sector reflects controlled pressure, engaging mechanized and motorized infantry brigades while destroying electronic warfare stations weakens the defensive ecosystem around key urban belts. Electronic warfare is critical for disrupting drones and communications. When it is removed, defenders become more exposed to precision fires and reconnaissance. The intent is shaping, not rushing. You hollow out defensive capacity so future decisions are made on favorable terms.
The center again shows heavy losses across many unit types. Why does this axis consistently matter so much?
The central sector is the operational hinge of the theater. It links north and south and supports lateral movement and logistics. Losses here, particularly across mechanized, airborne, special forces, and National Guard units, degrade the enemy's ability to coordinate and maneuver across the front. From a campaign perspective, attrition in the center yields disproportionate strategic effect. It narrows options everywhere else.
What does continued advance into defensive depth in the east tell you?
It tells me that defensive layers are being progressively eroded. Defeating mechanized, assault, and airmobile brigades and regiments while inflicting heavy vehicle losses reduces the enemy's ability to counterattack or stabilize the line. Depth becomes less protective when sustainment and coordination are under constant pressure.
The Dnipro axis saw targeted actions again today. How should listeners understand that?
This sector is about containment and interdiction. Destroying electronic warfare systems and vehicles prevents buildup and protects adjacent axes. It's a quieter form of warfare, but it plays a critical role in maintaining operational balance across the theater.
Finally, air defense intercepted a very large number of UAVs. How does that fit into the broader picture?
Intercepting 175 aircraft-type UAVs underscores both the enemy's reliance on unmanned systems and the effectiveness of layered air defense. Preserving freedom of maneuver depends on denying the enemy persistent reconnaissance and strike capability. Air defense is what allows all other elements to function with reduced risk.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that tactically, January 28th reflects disciplined combined arms execution focused on attrition of high-value enablers, artillery, electronic warfare, UAV infrastructure, fuel, and logistics. Strategically, the cumulative pattern confirms a sustained war of attrition approach designed to remove systems and operational options faster than they can be replaced. Territorial changes are secondary to the systematic degradation of the enemy's ability to fight.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.